Trina stood by the side of the road, waving her hand, hoping that someone would stop. Her face was full of worry. No car wanted to stop. She could see the driver slowing down to look at her, but then they quickly drove off. She couldn't blame them. After all, on that street, there was a lot of robbery of late. She wiped the sweat from her forehead and sighed. She had already tried calling her mechanic, but his phone was not going through. Her boss had warned her if she didn't get to the office on time, she would lose her job. And now, here she was, stranded with a flat tire. She bent down, trying to fix it herself, but it was too hard. Her hands were shaking, and her clothes were already dusty. Why was this happening today of all days? Trina looked at her wristwatch. Time was running out. Then, a black Toyota Corolla slowed down and parked beside her. The window rolled down, and a man in a white shirt leaned out. "Madam, what's wrong?" he asked. His voice was calm and his face looked kind. Trina quickly wiped the little tears that had formed in her eyes. "It's my tire. I was rushing to work and it got flat. I tried calling my mechanic, but his number is not going through." The man stepped out of his car. He looked young, maybe in his early 30s. His face was neat and he had a small beard. "Do you have a spare tire?" he asked. Yes, sir. It is in the boot. The man nodded and opened her boot. He brought out the spare tire and got to work immediately. Trina watched in shock. Who still helps strangers these days? "Sir, please, why are you helping me?" she asked. The man chuckled. "Because you need help." Trina looked at him again. Something about him felt different. In less than 10 minutes, he was done. "There you go," he said, wiping his hands. "You can go now before your boss fires you." Trina gasped. "Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you, may God bless you." She quickly opened her bag and brought out her purse. "Please, sir, let me give you something for your trouble." The man raised his hands. "No need, madam, just drive safe. Please leave this place. This area is not safe." Trina smiled. "At least, let me take your number so I can thank you later." The man waved it off. "Don't worry about it. Just go. She wanted to argue, but time was running out. She quickly jumped into her car, waved at him one last time, and drove off. 2 weeks later, Trina pushed her shopping cart down the aisle of the supermarket, looking for cereal. She reached out for a box at the same time as another person. Their hands touched. She turned to apologize and froze. It was him, the man who had helped her with the tire. "Oh my God!" she almost screamed. It's you! The man looked surprised. "Sorry? Do I know you?" Trina placed her hands on her chest. The tire, sir, 2 weeks ago, you saved me from losing my job. Can you remember?" The man thought for a moment and then smiled. "Aha, that's true. You're the lady from the roadside." Trina nearly dropped to her knees. "Ah, sir, you don't understand. If I had arrived late that day, I would have lost my job. My boss was ready to fire me." The man laughed. "Then I guess I came at the right time." Trina quickly brought out her phone. "I am not letting you go this time, sir. Please let me have your number. Let me have it. At least let me thank you properly." The man smiled and called out his number. "By the way, my name is William," he said. "Oh, I'm Trina. Please pardon my manners," she replied, still smiling. They shook hands, and from that day, they became close friends. William and Trina started spending more time together. They went to eat at restaurants, walked around the market, and even sat under trees to gist. They talked about work, life, and things that made them laugh. One day, William was at home resting on his sofa. He held his phone, smiling as he scrolled through his messages. Just then, his mother, Pauline, entered the house. She carried a big food flask. "William, my son," she called. William looked up and smiled. "Mama, welcome. What's inside that flask?" "Your favorite soup, of course. I made it fresh this morning." "Ah, thank you, Mama. You are the best." Mwah! Pauline sat down and looked at her son. She noticed the way he was smiling at his phone. She knew that kind of smile. Only a woman could make a man smile like that. William, who is making you smile like a fool? She asked. William quickly dropped his phone. Nobody, Mama. Pauline clapped her hands. Nobody. So you're just smiling like that? Tell me the truth, William. Give me the gist. William sighed. He knew his mother would not stop until he told her. Okay, Mama, settle down. Her name is Trina. Pauline's eyes shone. A woman? Hey! William nodded. Pauline jumped up from her seat. She raised her hands and started singing. Oh, thank you, my God. My son will not die a bachelor. My enemies will not laugh at me. Hey, thank you, God. Thank you, God. William shook his head and laughed. Mama, you're overdoing it. Pauline ignored him and continued dancing. When are you bringing her to see me? When are you bringing her to see me? In fact, don't waste time. Let her come this weekend. We must start wedding plans immediately. Mama, slow down. No, I will not slow down. I have suffered enough. People have been asking me, Pauline, when will you carry your grandchild? Finally, I have an answer for my enemies. Oh! William just smiled. He knew his mother would not rest until she met Trina. That weekend, Trina visited William's house. Pauline was waiting for her. The moment Trina entered, Pauline held her hand. My daughter, welcome, welcome, she said with a big smile. Come and sit down. Are you hungry? Should I bring you food? What do you want to eat? Trina smiled shyly. No, ma, I'm fine. Pauline sat beside her. She asked about Trina's family, her job, and where she grew up. Trina answered all the questions. After some time, Pauline smiled. She liked Trina. She could see that the girl was from a good home. You're a good girl. God will bless this union. Soon, the families met for the traditional marriage rites. The wedding followed, and it was big and colorful. There was plenty of food, music, and dancing. Pauline prayed for the couple. May your home be filled with happiness and children, she said. Everyone clapped and said, Amen. 2 years passed, but there was no cry of a baby in the house. William and Trina were not worried. God's time is the best, Trina would say. Very soon, we will carry our child. William would reply. But Pauline was not patient. At a women's meeting, the other women had started talking. Look at Pauline. I thought I saw her married 2 years ago. Yeah, she doesn't have any grandchild. Hey, I thought I was the only one that noticed that. Who knows? Maybe her son went to marry another man. Let's go. Some women even brought their grandchildren to the meeting just to mock her. One day, Pauline couldn't take it anymore. She went to William's house. She sat down and held her chest. My son, when will I carry my grandchild, she asked. Mama, don't worry. Very soon you will hear the cry of a baby in this house. Pauline wiped her eyes as if she was about to cry. Are you sure? William, are you sure? Because people are laughing at me. They are bringing their grandkids to our August meeting. William, tell me the truth now. What is wrong? Mama, stop listening to them. God's time is the best. Polly sighed and shook her head. But deep inside, she was already planning something. 5 years passed. William and Trina still had no child. But they did not let it bother them. They lived happily. They ate together, played together, and made jokes. They did not allow their home to be filled with sadness. But Pauline was still not happy. One afternoon, she came to visit. As she entered the house, she saw Trina and William laughing. William had just told a funny story, and Trina was laughing so hard that she almost fell off the chair. Pauline stopped at the door and folded her arms. So, this is what you people are doing? William and Trina turned to look at her. Good afternoon, Mama, Trina greeted. Pauline ignored her. 5 years! 5 good years! You are here playing like children! Pauline shouted. Trina's smile disappeared. Mama, what is it again? William asked. You are asking me? You are here laughing while your mates are having children. Pauline pointed at Trina. Are you a wife or a visitor in this house? Trina looked at the floor. Mama, that is enough, William said. No, it is not enough. It is not enough. Trina, if you cannot have children, at least leave my son alone. Trina's eyes filled with tears. Mama, I said stop it. I will not allow you to insult my wife. Pauline is. I have said my own. She turned and left the house angrily. Trina tried to make peace. One day, she bought Pauline a beautiful gold necklace. She put it inside a small box and gave it to her. Mama, good afternoon. I got this for you, Trina said with a smile. Pauline opened the box, looked at the necklace and closed it back. I don't want it, she said. Trina was confused. Mama, why? You think this will make me happy? What will I do with gold? I don't need gold. I don't need gold. I need grandchildren. I want to carry my grandchildren on my back. I want to be able to buy them things. I want to travel out with them. Give me grandchildren. Stop giving me gold. Hey! Trina felt pain in her chest. She forced a smile. Mama, please, don't beg me. Give me children, even if it's just one. Let me even ask you. Have you even had a miscarriage? A miscarriage, just a miscarriage. Have you even had one? Of course, you have not had it. That is why you're here giving me gold, wasting my son's money, eating, laughing, playing, while your friends are out there having children. My friend, get out of my presence. Pauline pushed the box back to Trina and walked away. It was Easter. Pauline came to visit as usual. That morning, Trina was washing clothes outside. The washing machine had stopped working, so she decided to use her hands. Pauline came outside and stood with her hands on her waist. Look at you, washing clothes like a housemaid. Trina ignored her and continued washing. Pauline looked at the bucket of soapy water beside Trina. Without warning, she kicked the bucket and the water splashed all over Trina. Mama! Pauline clapped her hands. Let that soap water wash away whatever is stopping you from getting pregnant. Trina was too shocked to speak. When William came home, she told him what happened. William sighed. Be patient, my love. Everything will be fine. Don't tell me everything will be fine. What is it? I didn't talk back. I didn't do anything just because I respected you. What is it? Are we the only ones? There are many people out there who are still believing God for children for 10 years, 20 years, and they've not died. What is it? I was basically washing the clothes, and then she just splashed water on me. And she even had the effort to tell me that the soap will wash away whatever is stopping me from getting pregnant. What is it now? What is it? Don't worry. She will change. Change. Please, see, William, please just talk to your mother. Okay, I will talk to her. Trina wiped her tears. One afternoon, Trina was at home eating fruit. She sat on the sofa, laughing over the phone with her friend, Susan. Susan, stop making me laugh. Look at your boy. He likes to eat. Is that not chocolate? How old is he? Don't mind my son. He likes to eat everything, Susan said. The front door opened and Pauline entered unannounced. Trina quickly ended the call. Good afternoon, Mama, she greeted. Pauline looked at the plate of fruits in front of Trina. So you are eating fruit? Yes, Mama. These are the kinds of things pregnant women eat, or are you pregnant? Trina froze. Pauline sat down and shook her head. William's classmate from university now have children who will soon finish primary school. But you are just here eating fruit. I'm sure if I open that freezer, I'm going to see ice cream, fried chicken, jollof rice. You are just here eating and getting fat. You cannot even drop one child. One. God, what mistake did I make? Who did I offend? Hey, God. And the first day I saw you, I knew that there was something wrong with you. I knew you didn't have the ability to have kids. But I was just trusting that maybe, just maybe, a miracle will happen. Look at you. You're so shameless. Trina's eyes burned with tears. Pauline stood up. Keep eating. Maybe one day, a child will just appear in your stomach. She picked up her handbag and left. That night, Trina cried and cried until her pillow was wet. The pressure became too much. Pauline wanted a grandchild. She talked about it every time she visited. Trina's own family also started asking questions. When will you have a baby? Are you even trying? Dad, I'm trying. Mom, I'm trying. Then go and see a doctor. Okay. One day, Trina sat down with William. William, let's try IVF, she said. William shook his head. No, Trina. I have heard terrible stories. It fails most times. The injections, the pain, the stress. I don't want you to go through that. But William, what do we do? Everyone is pressuring us. I'm tired. I'm tired of answering all the questions. From your mom, from my family. Everyone is talking. What is it? William thought for a while. Okay, let's try a close adoption. A close adoption. What is that again? Okay, we find a woman who wants to give her child away. We take care of her until she gives birth. Then she gives us the baby. Trina nodded slowly. Are you sure this will work? Of course. Yes, it will work. They found a young lady who wanted to give her baby away. She was just 17. She was not ready to be a mother. William and Trina took care of her for 9 months. They paid for her food. They paid for her hospital visits. They even built a nursery for the baby. They had already chosen a name. They even opened a bank account for the child. They were ready. But on the day of the delivery, everything changed. I can't give you my baby. I don't want to. Trina's hand shook. What? But we had an agreement. I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to give up my baby. I don't want to give up my baby. There was nothing William and Trina could do. They went home and cried. The nursery was empty. The baby clothes were packed away. It felt like someone had died. One day, Pauline called Trina to her house. Sit down, she said. Trina sat down, her heart beating fast. What does she want again? Trina thought. Pauline leaned forward. There is one way to have a child, she whispered. Trina frowned. How, Mama? Pauline's eyes shone. You will sleep with another man. Mama, what are you saying? My friend, sit down. People do it. It is not a sin. It is for the family. Okay. If you don't want to do it, that's your business. Somebody else will come and inherit your husband's property. Trina shook her head. Mama, I will never do it. I will never betray my husband like that. Oh, you will never betray your husband like that. If you don't do it, I promise you, I will stab myself. My blood will be on your hands and God will punish you for it. Trina gasped. Mama, stop saying such things. Pauline picked up a knife from the table. I am serious. If you refuse, I will stab myself now. Trina's hands were shaking. Trina did not tell William. She did not know if he would believe her. Maybe he would take his mother's side. She told her friend Susan, Trina, just do it. Trina's mouth fell open. Susan, you too? Just once. Do it for peace. Pretend it is William. Trina, you cannot trust men. You don't know if William is planning to marry another woman. You better act fast. Trina held her head. She did not know what to do. Trina finally agreed for peace sake. Pauline made all the arrangements. Trina did not know the man. She did not want to know. She met him in a hotel. She closed her eyes and she did what she never thought she would do. Trina became pregnant. The news spread like fire. Pauline was the happiest. Trina, sit down. Don't touch anything. Don't carry anything. From today henceforth, I am going to do everything for you. What do you want to eat? Do you want pepper soup? Do you want shawarma? Do you want burger? Do you want rice? What? Tell me. Mama, I'm fine. Don't say you are fine. See, I know this is a boy. You're about to give birth to a boy. I will make sure I spoil this child silly. Sit down. She didn't let Trina lift a finger. 9 months later, Trina gave birth to a baby boy. A big party was held. William was so happy. God has answered my prayers, he said. He bought Trina a brand new car. The boy had everything he needed. William loved him so much. He played with him. He bought him gifts. Everyone said Junior was lucky to have a father like William. Years passed. One day, William and Junior were playing football outside. Junior fell and got a bad cut. Blood was everywhere. "Somebody help!" William shouted. They rushed to the hospital. He needs blood, the doctor said. Yes, you can take mine. The doctor took his blood. Few minutes later, he came back with the result. Mr. Williams, your blood does not match, he said. William frowned. Doctor, what do you mean? Please check again. That's my son. The doctor checked again. Still, the blood didn't match. William started to panic. Doctor, what are you saying? The doctor's face was serious. You know what? I want to conduct all the necessary tests from head to toe before I make my conclusion. At this time, Trina was out of town, but she was worried when she heard her son was in the hospital. A few days later, the results were ready. Mr. Williams, I ran all the necessary tests, even a DNA test. Okay, William answered. This boy is not your son. William's head started spinning. Oh God, this is the most amazing joke I've heard in years. What are you saying, doctor? Are you mad? I checked everything. Junior is not your child. William grabbed the doctor's shirt. Doctor, don't joke with me. Calm down. There is more. What's more? William, you cannot have children. There was silence. What? You are impotent, the doctor said. William blinked fast. What do you mean? Did something happen to you years ago? Can you remember? Yes, I had an infection years ago when I was in secondary school. My mother took me to a doctor. The doctor nodded. That infection was not treated well. It damaged something in you. William sat down. His head was hot. Thankfully, the doctor could still save Junior's life. William could not drive. His head was full. He took a taxi home. He went straight to his room. He took a bottle of drink. He took a gun and he waited. Trina was not home yet, but soon she would be. When she came back, she saw him. He was drinking. The gun was on the table. Her heart started beating fast. William, good evening. What is wrong? She asked. William looked up. Who is Junior's father? He asked. Trina's heart stopped. William, what kind of silly question is that? What do you mean? Shut up and don't lie to me. Who is Junior's father? He picked up the gun. If you lie, I will shoot your legs. I promise you that this gun is loaded. Trina fell on her knees. I'm sorry. I said, who is the father? Start talking. Okay, I will talk. It was your mom. Trina confessed everything about Pauline's plan, Susan's advice, the hotel, the man. William's hands were shaking. He could not believe it. His own mother? After everything we've been through together, you decided to open your legs for another man? Oh, really? No problem. William picked up his phone. He called Pauline. She answered. Mama, I heard about everything. Did you know that Junior was in the hospital? And today I discovered that Junior is not my son. I heard about all the silly plans you made with my wife. Run. Run for your life. You know me, Mama. I do not make empty threats. Because if I find you anywhere, you are dead. I give you 24 hours to leave this town. Pauline's breath stopped. She dropped the phone. She grabbed her bag and ran. She knew her son. If he said he would do something, he would do it. Pauline ran far, far away. She never came back. William looked at Trina. For you, pack your things. I never ever want to see you again. William, please. He threw her clothes outside. He pointed at the door. Leave! Trina carried Junior. She left in shame. And just like that, everything was over. If you enjoyed this story, please click the next video showing on your screen. And most importantly, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Remember, liking and subscribing is free. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video. God bless you.